Good morning, and welcome back to Daily Dhamma, a letter to our children. Today is July 18th, and our reading is Hell's Angels. The difference between the student radicals and the Hell's Angels is that the students are rebelling against the past, while the angels are fighting the future. Their only common ground is their disdain for the present. And that's Hunter S. Thompson in his book, Hell's Angels. This is further proof that God wants us to steer clear of groups like these. The present is the only time we have, so give a wide berth to anyone lost in the past or in cloud cuckoo land. Yes, Dr. Thompson, I presume. Who better to comment on these kinds of things than Hunter S. Thompson? He almost got killed writing that book, which I believe was his first breakout book, Hell's Angels. And he had a long-time love-hate relationship with Richard Nixon. I think Richard Nixon wrote something for the cover of one of his books that said, love him or hate him, he writes a hell of a piece. Richard Nixon on Hunter S. Thompson, if you can believe that. Now, what did these guys have in common? They were pretty much in the now. As Tom Wicker, longtime New York Times columnist and unlikely biographer of Richard Nixon, would tell us. His book was One of Us, Richard Nixon and the American Dream, and it was a deep dive into the formative events of Nixon's life that made him into the person that he was. And in his foreword to that, Wicker says that all of his friends on the Times are going to hate him for writing this book. And maybe that was true. Nixon and Thompson met out on the mall when the student protests were at their height. And as unlikely as it seems, Hunter S. Thompson kind of liked the guy, and you could tell it from the way he excoriated him. And I'm not sure that was not returned in full. Anyway, this whole idea about living in the past or living in cloud cuckoo land out in the future is a big deal for us. We need to endeavor to be here now. To that end, two groups that we should definitely steer clear of are student radicals and the Hell's Angels. Please check the description box for the table of contents of the book, Daily Dhamma, A Letter to Our Children. That's available on Amazon. There are also the 10 playlists for this channel, and you can take a look at those. They might help you figure out what we're trying to do here. And happy trails to you until we meet again.